The 1% Illusion: How Capitalism, Hypergamy, and Social Darwinism Shape Modern Relationships and Inequality. Introduction. In modern dating culture, there has been a marked shift in how relationships are formed and maintained, driven by economic factors and social expectations. At the heart of this shift is the modern woman's desire for a man who belongs to the top 1%, a man who is financially successful, influential, and socially powerful. This has led to a variety of consequences, including the phenomenon where women often share these high-status men, resulting in a rise in single motherhood among the same group of men. Meanwhile, regular men, who lack the wealth or status to compete, are increasingly marginalized in the dating market. Many of them turn to foreign countries in search of women who uphold traditional family values, rejecting the hyper-competitive and materialistic dating scene of the West. However, the root of these social dynamics goes beyond individual preferences and relationships. It is tied to broader social and economic inequalities fostered by Western society's free market capitalism, where wealth and power are seen as the ultimate markers of success. This ideology mirrors the concept of social Darwinism, where only the fittest, in this case, the wealthiest, survive and thrive. In many ways, this mindset is reminiscent of eugenic thinking, where certain traits, such as wealth, are believed to indicate superior genetic fitness. This essay will explore these dynamics, challenging the notion that wealth and success are genetically predetermined and emphasizing the role of environmental and cooperative factors in creating thriving societies. Section 1. The modern woman's desire for a top 1% man. One of the most striking features of modern dating culture is the widespread desire among women to secure relationships with men who belong to the top 1%, those who are wealthy, successful, and influential. This preference, known as hypergamy, is not new. It has been observed across cultures and societies throughout history. However, in the context of today's hyperconnected, image-driven world, the pressure to secure a high-status partner has become more intense than ever. The influence of media, particularly social media, cannot be overstated in shaping this phenomenon. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and reality television shows propagate the idea that the ideal man is wealthy, powerful, and capable of providing a luxurious lifestyle. Images of women dating or marrying multimillionaires, athletes, or successful businessmen dominate the cultural narrative, creating an aspirational standard for many women. The media plays a powerful role in not only reflecting societal values, but also in shaping them. At the same time, evolutionary psychology suggests that women have an innate drive to seek out partners who can provide security and resources. Historically, men who could offer stability, whether through physical protection or financial support, were seen as more desirable mates. This instinct has been carried into the modern world, where wealth and status are proxies for security in an uncertain economic environment. In a world where financial uncertainty is common, the top 1% represents stability, comfort, and safety. However, the result of this widespread preference for top-tier men is a competitive dating environment in which women compete for the attention of a very small pool of high-status men. This competition can lead to the overvaluation of wealth and status, at the expense of other important qualities, such as kindness, emotional intelligence, and shared values. More importantly, it exacerbates inequality in the dating market, leaving many regular men out of the equation altogether. Section 2. The impact on relationships. Sharing the top 1% man. Given that only a small percentage of men belong to the top 1%, it is inevitable that not every woman can secure such a partner. This has led to a pattern where some high-status men are involved in multiple relationships, often fathering children with several women. This phenomenon is particularly evident in celebrity culture, where wealthy and influential men, such as athletes, musicians, and business moguls, often have children with multiple partners. This results in a pattern where a small number of men father a disproportionate number of children, often with different women. While these men are financially capable of supporting their children, the emotional and psychological impact on the children and their mothers is often overlooked. Many of these women become single mothers, tasked with raising their children largely on their own. Although the fathers may provide financial support, they are often absent from the day-to-day lives of their children, leading to a lack of stable family structures. This pattern reflects a broader societal trend where single motherhood has become more common, even accepted, despite the challenges it presents for both mothers and children. The emotional toll on women who engage in relationships with these high-status men can be significant. Many of them enter into these relationships with the hope of securing a long-term commitment, only to find themselves competing with other women for the attention and resources of the same man. This creates a sense of insecurity and instability, as these women navigate relationships that are often transactional in nature, based more on the man's financial status than on mutual emotional support or compatibility. For the children born into these situations, the absence of a stable, two-parent household can have long-term consequences. Research consistently shows that children who grow up in single-parent households are more likely to face a variety of challenges, including lower academic achievement, behavioral problems, and emotional difficulties. While financial support from wealthy fathers can alleviate some of these challenges, it does not replace the emotional support and guidance that come from having both parents actively involved in their children's lives. Section 3. The displacement of regular men. While the top 1% of men benefit from their high status in the dating market, regular men, those who do not possess significant wealth, status, or social influence, are increasingly being left out. This displacement is not just anecdotal, but has become a well-documented trend. Dating apps and online platforms, which have become the primary means by which people meet and form relationships, often exacerbate this issue by prioritizing wealth and status. On platforms like Tinder and Bumble, users are bombarded with information about potential matches, and characteristics such as job titles, income, and lifestyle are prominently displayed. Men who do not meet certain criteria, whether it be a high-paying job, an attractive lifestyle, or a strong social media presence, are often overlooked. This creates a highly competitive environment where regular men struggle to stand out and secure meaningful connections. The growing wealth gap also plays a significant role in this dynamic. As income inequality widens, regular men find themselves increasingly marginalized, unable to provide the financial security that many women seek in a partner. This economic pressure is particularly pronounced in Western societies, where the cost of living continues to rise and traditional middle-class jobs are becoming scarcer. As a result, regular men are finding it harder to compete in the dating market, leading to frustration, loneliness, and a sense of alienation. For many regular men, the inability to secure a long-term partner or meaningful relationship has led to a rise in mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and feelings of inadequacy. This has also given rise to various social movements, such as Men Going Their Own Way, MGTOW, where men choose to opt out of the dating market altogether, rejecting what they see as an unfair system that prioritizes wealth and status over genuine connection. Another trend that has emerged is the growing number of men who are choosing to look overseas for romantic partners. These men, often referred to as passport brothers, seek out women from more traditional cultures who they believe are more likely to value family, commitment, and gender roles. Section 4. The rise of Western men seeking traditional women overseas. As regular men find themselves increasingly displaced in the Western dating market, many are turning to foreign countries in search of women who are perceived as more traditional and family-oriented. This trend is particularly evident among men who feel that the values upheld by Western women, such as career ambition, individualism, and feminism, are incompatible with their own desire for a traditional family structure. In countries like the Philippines, Thailand, and parts of Eastern Europe, men from Western countries often find women who place a higher value on family and gender roles. These women are often seen as more willing to embrace traditional relationships, where the man is the provider and protector, and the woman is the caretaker and nurturer. There are several factors that drive this trend. First, many men feel that Western women have become overly focused on career success and individual fulfillment, often at the expense of family and relationships. While these are valid pursuits, men who value traditional gender roles may feel alienated by women who prioritize their careers over starting a family. Second, the economic pressures in Western societies make it difficult for regular men to compete with the top 1%, leading them to seek out environments where their financial status is less of a barrier to forming meaningful relationships. However, the trend of Western men seeking foreign wives has been met with criticism. Some argue that this practice reflects a form of cultural imperialism, where men from wealthier countries exploit women from poorer countries for their own benefit. Others point out that these relationships can be fraught with challenges, as cultural differences and power imbalances often lead to misunderstandings and conflict. Section 5. The core problem: inequality and capitalism's social Darwinism. The root of the issues discussed above lies in the growing inequality within Western societies, driven by free market capitalism. This system, which prioritizes wealth, power, and individual success, has created a highly stratified society where only the fittest survive and thrive. In this context, wealth becomes the ultimate marker of success, and those who lack it are often marginalized or excluded from key social and economic opportunities. This ideology mirrors the concept of social Darwinism, which posits that only the strongest and most capable individuals deserve to succeed, while the weak are left to struggle. In the dating market, this manifests as a form of selective mating, where wealth and status are seen as indicators of genetic fitness. Just as eugenics once promoted the idea that certain traits, such as physical strength or intelligence, were inherently superior, modern capitalist societies often promote the idea that wealth is a sign of genetic superiority. The assumption that wealth is synonymous with better genes is deeply flawed. It ignores the complex interplay between genetics and environment, which shapes human traits and behaviors. Moreover, it fails to account for the fact that wealth is often the result of environmental factors, such as access to education, social networks, and opportunities, rather than innate genetic qualities. Section 6. Eugenics, Capitalism, and the Fallacy of Genetic Determinism. The belief that wealth is a marker of genetic fitness is not only scientifically inaccurate, but also dangerous. It perpetuates harmful social attitudes that devalue individuals who do not fit the mold of financial success. This mindset is reminiscent of eugenic ideologies, which sought to improve the human population through selective breeding based on perceived genetic traits. However, modern science has thoroughly discredited the notion that genetics alone determine human worth or success. Epigenetics, for example, has shown that environmental factors play a crucial role in shaping gene expression. This means that the environment in which a person is raised, their access to education, healthcare, and social support, has a profound impact on their development and success in life. The documentary Zeitgeist, moving forward, explores this idea, arguing that cooperative, peaceful environments produce higher quality human beings than competitive, survival-based systems. This perspective challenges the capitalist notion that wealth is a sign of genetic superiority, instead emphasizing the importance of social and environmental factors in human development. Conclusion. In conclusion, the modern woman's desire for a top 1% man, the displacement of regular men in the dating market, and the rise of men seeking traditional women overseas are all symptomatic of deeper social and economic inequalities. These inequalities are driven by a capitalist system that prioritizes wealth and success, creating a distorted social landscape where only the fittest are seen as deserving of success. This mindset, which mirrors eugenic ideologies, is deeply flawed and harmful. It ignores the complex interplay between genetics and environment, perpetuating the false belief that wealth is a marker of genetic fitness. Instead, we must recognize that human worth is not determined by wealth or status, but by the environment in which individuals are raised and the opportunities they are given to succeed. A more cooperative, egalitarian society, where individuals are valued for their contributions rather than their financial success, would benefit all members of society, fostering healthier relationships, families, and communities.